Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an experience like no other. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for The Mary D. Show, where the ordinary meets the extraordinary. The Mary D. Show brings you powerful insights and inspiring stories from a diverse range of guests. Join our incredible host, Mary D. Welch, as she sits down with thought leaders, business owners, and changemakers, sharing their journeys and successes. From career professionals and entrepreneurs to educators and beauty advisors, Mary D. Welch interviews sports figures and health enthusiasts, offering a platform for extraordinary voices. Explore the world of extraordinary people and places in business and finance, homes and real estate, beauty and wellness, education and empowerment, sports and health, and more. Want to be a guest on the show? Call 619-669-8603 or email Mary at marydwelch.com. Visit www.marydwelch.com to learn more.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. I know I'm looking at this. It says go live, but I think I am live already. I think so. Okay. All right. I want to welcome you to the Mary D Talk Show. I know I may look a little different, I'm sure, because even the background. Today's a different show. First, I want to say thank you to the live viewers. Thank you, live viewers, for being here. And thank you, replay viewers, for being here. I always want to thank all of you for taking time out of your day to be at the Mary D Show, because I know, you could be anywhere, but you choose to be here. So thank you. I want to thank you to our executive producer. Hi, babe. Oliver's in the background, as many of you know. He is the engine behind the Mary D Show. So I want to thank you. And I see Antonio popped in. Antonio's a super fan. Hi, Antonio. So those of you that have been here know Antonio rarely misses a show. That's rare. If I don't see Antonio there, I think it's something wrong. And hi, Lori. Welcome to the show. Today is a different show, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I almost forgot. Thank you to our sponsors. I'd like to thank you to the Idea Club. Thank you, Idea Club, because Idea Club was here when it was a thought, ladies and gentlemen, and now it's the real deal, and the Idea Club is still here. So the Idea Club, thank you. Whether if you're looking to have a nonprofit, a 501c3, if you're looking to create a corporation, a S Corp or a C Corp, you want to go to theideaclub.com or theideaclub.org. It'll get you there. So you want to do that. I want to make sure I say that. Also, and I didn't put this in there. I probably should put this in the messages. On January 3rd, I'm going to offer a free workshop. June, not January. I'm wrong. I said January. Not that far off. On June the 3rd, I'm going to do a free workshop. It'll be, those of you on the email list, you'll get one. You'll get the email that says free workshop if you're looking to write your book. It's not publish the book. That's Alexa. And let me tell you where I am so you can kind of get an idea. I'm actually in my granddaughter's, one of my granddaughters. We have 7 grandchildren. I'm trying to think how many granddaughters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 5 granddaughters? It's 5. Yeah, and 2 grandsons. So 5 granddaughters. So I'm in one of the granddaughters' bedroom. That's why you see the guitars. She's musically inclined. She went to YouTube and learned how to play all of her instruments. YouTube University. When I tell you I'm impressed with that, whether it was the piano, everything she's learned has been from YouTube. And that's just phenomenal to me. But it tells you just what you can do. She is now going to college to be a music teacher. She wants to teach music to people. She needs to be teaching to her grandmother. But I understand. So I'm here today in her bedroom. Oliver and I are here visiting. And so I had to go to a quiet location when I do the show. So I came in her bedroom to do the show. And so that's why you see a totally different background. You see her Post-its over here. She's posting. She's keeping herself organized. So she's very organized and everything. So, and I'll tell Antonio, I'll tell Oliver you said hi also. I'll make sure you know that. And so you can tell, you see my little hat on today. This is a different look today. We are kind of, I guess you could say we're on vacation, but we're really not on vacation, if that makes sense. We are on vacation because we're actually here at the graduation for the room that I'm in is um, her sister is graduating from college. So we're here for that graduation. And then next Monday, and I don't honestly know if we're going to have a show next Monday because we have another granddaughter graduating from high school next Monday, and I don't know what time her graduation is. I just know it's next Monday. So since I don't know what time it is, we're gonna. I probably I what I could do a quick blurb or something and let you guys know, or put a flyer up that says that we'll be at her graduation or something like that. This is my hesitation. People say that kind of thing, people get robbed. That's why I'm like, you don't really want to go out telling people you're not home. But that's the truth of the matter. We have grandkids graduating from high school. Well, we have two granddaughters graduating. The one we're here for today, we're here her graduation, and then the second granddaughter her graduation. So we have two graduates. It is I can't even explain to you what this feels like to be with two graduating, two of them graduating, one from college, one going into college, and then we're the grandson that's here where we're at their house. He graduates in 2 years, which means we'll be back. We have not missed their graduations. If they're graduating, we go. Period. And just it's like there is no question if we're gonna be there. We're gonna be there. It's yeah. That's all there is to it. So I know today is a different day, ladies and gentlemen, because normally there's a guest. I know. There, like I said, there probably won't be a guest next week either because I'm not sure what time that graduation is, and so I don't want to get schedule someone. So, but let me just say this. Okay, today's the 12th. Next week is the 19th. The week after that must be the 20. What is that? The 25th, 26th. That's off the top of my head. But must be 26th. Now, the issue for now that so the next guest, actual guest for the show, won't be till the 26th because this one is these are kind of fluid shows going on right now. I don't want to commit people because your time is valuable. Their time is valuable. I respect your time more than anything else. So I don't want you to come and they're looking for a guest to be on. But then again, let me say this: I enjoy when it's just me and you. I don't know. You may not enjoy it, but but I do. I enjoy this time, and I see Elaine has to come. Elaine, because I know, and I know that I'm sure the meeting was excellent. I'm sure. Hi, Mary and Oliver and Mary. I pray that you had a blessed, happy. Oh, and I hope you did too, Elaine. Happy Mother's Day to you too. Same to those tuning in today, and you're doing the show as mothers too. Oh, and Elaine, happy Mother's Day to you. I know you did. I know you had a wonderful Mother's Day. I know we had dinner and all that yesterday. It was very nice, very very. We were traveling, but once we got there, we had a wonderful Mother's Day. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's some things I just wanted to share with you on this show. This is different. It's going to be, I guess you could call it an eclectic show. Is that what I'm trying to say? It's not going to be you can, if you have questions for me, please don't hesitate. You can ask me anything. I'm going to share some things with you because when we went to the airport yesterday. Um, I had as many of you already know, you have to have your ID, your what is it? The ID I'm talking. Somebody can tell me, put it in the chat. What ID? The universal ID, so you can travel. Okay, since I knew I didn't have it, I brought my trusty. If you've never seen a passport, now you can say you have. There's what a passport looks like. Uh, this is number 5 for me. Ta-da, ta-da. Your passport. So, and I'm kind of doing this as a lesson because some of you, if you've never seen a passport, you don't know what a passport even looks like. I'm not going to put up my information because why would you want that anyway? But I tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to show you what it looks like in the inside. This is what it looks like. So you can kind of get an idea. You guys see? That's what. And I'm saying this because my very first passport I received was I was 19. That's my first one. So, and then when you turn the page, that's why I can show you this because I haven't filled this out, by the way. That's why I showed it to you. All they cared about was they opened it up, and this is the part I can't show you because it has all my date of birth and all that fun stuff on it. But I can tell you, you have to have a picture, and it's called a passport. I think I can show you this one, this side. You can see this side only because it doesn't have any. It just has my signature on it. Yeah, you can see this side, so you can see what that looks like. Oh, it's kind of bright. I have there we go. There you go. That's what it looks like. So the first thing he did when I showed him my what is the what ID? I can't call it. You guys, did you put it in there? Help me out with the in the chat. It's called a something ID. I can't remember. But anyway, so they asked for this. He said, "Do you have another form of ID?" And I gave him the passport. He said, he said, "I don't even need your driver's license." And then this is the other part, what it looks like in the inside. Like I said, if you've never seen a passport, now I'm gonna tell you what's interesting. This is ours, United States of America. It looks like this. Other countries, I've seen green ones, I've seen red ones, I've seen yellow ones. What other color have I seen? I think that's it. Green, red, yellow, and maybe a white one, I think. But each country has its own cover for the passport, just so you're aware. And then at the back, it says scan for passport information and travel regulations. That's what it says. So just so you know. But this is an insight too, important information. I just want to share this with you. If you've never seen one, if you've seen a passport, oops, if you've seen a passport, this holds no, you don't care. But if you've never seen one, when I received my first passport, as I said before, 19, I was on my way to Africa. I didn't know. And then this one did this get stamped today? Let me think. No, this was stamped already in 2023. That's what the stamp looks like when they stamp it when you were, I don't know where we were, if we got stamped. I don't know. But in 2023, it's stamped. So we were somewhere leaving the country. I don't even know where we were going. I can't think of it. But when you go in and out of the United States, I'm trying to think. Oh, I know where we were. We were coming back from Panama. That's why I stamped. Now I remember. They're good for 10 years, just so you know. And then you have to get, so when you leave, when you're coming into the country, they stamp it. And you make sure it's coming in or going out, coming in, because they're checking. Yeah, they're checking your passport. Um, and sometimes you have to pay a fee to enter a country. It's like a visa fee. Sometimes that fee is low, sometimes it's not so low. It just depends on the country. We went to Panama. I'm trying to think, did we pay anything? I don't remember. And these are what the pages look like. If we paid anything at all, it's like $10 or something. When we went to where did we go? And it was $10. And I remember thinking that, and I looked around and saw how long those lines was. I said, this is multi-millions of dollars this country gets in just that $10 fee. And all you're doing is paying to enter their country. So maybe it's going in. Yeah, you have to get your passport stamped. I thought it was, yeah. I can't remember. It's coming in, going out, but you have to get it. They're going to check your passport to make sure you're a citizen. That's what it was. That's why I wanted to check. But I had to go through that coming in today, or not coming today, when we were traveling today. Because my driver's license, I don't have the updated version of the driver's license yet. Because my driver's license is good for the next like 3 years. And they said, it's better if I just travel with a passport. And she said, do you have a passport? And I said, yes. She said, just travel with your passport. And then you can come back and get the new driver's license. I'm like, okay. But for right now, just travel with your passport. Don't worry about it. So that's what I'm doing. But just so you know, but I keep this on my body, meaning that I keep this like it's treated like gold because to be honest with you, it really is. I can't leave this country without it. And now I can't fly without it. So I have to have it. And so I keep it with me. Um, Normally, we keep them at home, or sometimes they're in a safe deposit box. But we have so much respect for this because we can't leave this country without it, and you can't get back in without it. So you want to make sure if you, this is what I do. Truthfully, I get a passport whether I'm leaving the country or not. Doesn't matter. I still keep a passport. And the reason being, if somebody called today and said, would you like to go anywhere? Doesn't matter. They say, we're going to Greece in 2 days. Can you go? Yep. We're going to Greece next week. Can you go? Yep. No matter what people said, we can go because we have our passports and we keep them active. We don't just, like I said, this is number 5. And I keep them, even though after they expire, you can take them and send them back in. I think you send them back in and they punch this big hole, not a hole in it, but it has, they make it where you can't use it again. But I still keep it because it still shows all the places I've been. So I wanted to share that with us. If you don't have a passport, get one. And another thing I want to add, and I'm not trying to say to get this, you can choose to get it or not, is the TSA. If you The reason I say get TSA, we were just yesterday in line at Ontario Airport. The line, for those of you familiar with Ontario Airport, went all the way back to the baggage claim. But because we have TSA check-in, we were able to literally walk up and go upstairs. Didn't have to stand in line for anything. We were the only ones in the TSA check-in. Now, I've seen that line long too, though. Not that long though, but I've seen it where it was, let's say, 10 people. I think that's about the most I've seen. What, 10 people? But you have to pay for the TSA. You do have to pay, but it's good for 5 years. And everything I'm saying is right online. But we did that probably like a couple years ago. At that time, we were traveling a lot. Now, not so much. Like this, we're traveling now, but this is our first trip this year. We haven't gone anywhere this year, which is for a couple of reasons. I'm trying to not trying. I'm not trying. I'm writing my first feature movie. I'm not trying to write it. As I keep saying, I'm writing it. So because I'm writing it, I said, okay, you cannot. I wish I could work on the sets and write your movie. There's only so many hours in a day. When I work on movie sets, I'm there 14 hours a day, between 12 and 14. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I enjoy every second of it. I enjoy working. I mean, you're working. Don't get me wrong, you're working. But the point is not it's a labor of love for me because it's something I've always wanted to do. So um, I'm learning so much. Every time I'm on the set, I'm oh my God. There's no limit to what you can learn. Let me just say that. And there's always something to learn. So by the time I come off, and I've shared this with you guys before, all I want is to take a shower and get in the bed. I have no strength to write. That's out. That's not even a question. There's nothing left to write. And so I had to learn. It took me a while to realize this. I said, you got to choose. If this is your year to write, you're going to have to write. I do still want to work on sets. I don't want to give you the wrong impression. I do, but at the same time, it's very hard for me. It's just hard. I would now if I were 20 years younger, probably yeah, I could do it. But as I'm getting older, no. It's just I'm gonna have to choose. That's what I've come to terms with. I can either write or I can work on the set, but I can't do both. So that's what I wanted to share with you too, because I'm finding as time goes on, these choices are real. They're very real. So you got to decide. Oh, thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Elaine. I see it was the real ID. That's thank Elaine. Thank you, Elaine. It's the real ID. Now Oliver has his. Oliver has the real ID. I don't have the real ID. So I'm gonna have to find out. Because it's not that it's bad traveling with this. It really wasn't. But I remember thinking, I said, you need to go on it. But when I went to get it, they said because my driver's license doesn't expire till 20. I think it's 2028, 2029. That's why the lady said, So you have to go and get a new driver's license. But I don't know. I don't know which one's the better way. I can't tell you. But this is the way I had to do it. So I'm just telling you guys. So if you don't have the real ID, thank you, Elaine. Then that's what you want to do is make sure you get that, or make sure you have your passport. And then these are good for 10 years. So just as I said before, the real ID, I don't know. I guess it's just like your driver's license. I think they're good 5 years. That's what I want to say, but I don't know honestly what the real ID is good for. I just know the driver's license was good for 5 years. In fact, all they did was say they sent me the paper and they're like, check this box or something, and my driver's license came in the mail. I don't even remember doing it. That was it. And I don't know if it's because of my driving record. I honestly don't know why, but that's how I got mine. I can't, I don't know. Maybe everybody did that, but that's something you want to just stay on top of. Make sure, as I said before, if you want to leave the country, you need it, and it is real. And I'm also I don't know if I'm giving a plug for Southwest, but I'll use Southwest. Um, what do we have to do? We didn't pay for luggage. They said I think it's the 28th of this month. You have to start paying for luggage, but they haven't told us what it's going to be. But you still don't have assigned seats yet. That's Southwest, and that's what we fly. We tend to fly Southwest now. But they are going to have you pay for luggage. That's changing. Before you didn't pay for luggage. You got two check bags for free. So we'll see. Oliver thinks it's going to be a low amount. He thinks it's going to be like $25. I don't know. I have no clue. They're going to do. This is life. Everything has changed, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about if you feel the same way, but in my life, a lot has changed. I'm gonna speak for that. That that is for sure. And I want to share with you too a book I am reading now. I'm gonna preface this only because I don't want people to feel like I'm putting my beliefs on anyone, and that people or that I'm telling you to believe any kind of way. I look at life like this: you're gonna believe what you want to believe, no matter what I say. That's how I look at it. It doesn't matter what I say. Let me say that. But I do understand people feeling like, oh, she's getting religious. Oh, this, that, and the other. Let me just say this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not getting anything. I've always been a person that believed in God. I'm just going to speak for me. I'm not telling you what to believe, how to believe, anything. I'm going to speak for me. I'm actually the child of a minister. My mother was a minister. She was in the ministry, and I watched her. Um, I watched her before she was ever in the ministry, and knew she was. It was in her. It was in her. Those of you that I don't think many of you knew my mom. Unfortunately, I wish you had. But this is a book I am reading. I'm saying, you see, I marked the page right now because what I'm coming in terms with, the battlefields are in our mind. But this book right here, by um, what's Joyce's last name? Joyce Meyer. I know her first name, Joyce Meyer. And I'm reading this because there's some things I want to do, and at the same time, I feel like, oh, maybe this is too much. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe all these maybes, and it talks about that. It talks about us not believing in ourselves or believing for less than, because it looks like everything is so big. That's why I'm reading this book. Because the battlefield is in our mind. Think about that. That's really big. This is her number one best-selling book. I'm showing you this. Now I've had the book. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've had this book for years. I don't even know if I read the first chapter. And then one today, when we're like I said, we're here with the grandkids, and they're still going to school. So during the day, we don't. It's just me and Oliver. And I said, okay, you need to read this. You need to read this because you're battling some issues. And guess where they are? I'm going to read a couple of these out of you. Yeah. I'm not trying to tell you to be religious and all, because people have said that. Oh, you're trying to put your religion on. I'm not trying to put anything on anybody. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. Okay. I've only started, at the beginning, and this is what I did. Let me tell you how different I did this book, ladies and gentlemen. I read everything. I don't do that, by the way. Usually when I read, I skip around. I'm all over the place. I said, no, we're gonna turn the page. We're gonna do something different. You're gonna read from page one. No, this is what I did. I read the back. Now, this is all things I don't do, by the way. I read the back, read the front, read everything. Read the from day one, from all the way. From the preface to who she dedicated the book to. I never do this. That's why this was a big deal for me. I went to the introduction, to the updated edition. I went through it. What that really showed me is I am searching. I want I don't want to deal with these battlefields. Or the better way to say it is I want to win. I want to win. And if she has a way to show me, oh, thank you, Antonio. Thank you. Antonio said, great book. I'm glad. You know what? I've never read it, Antonio. I only read like one chapter. And I finally said, oh, you read it? Okay. The just the title. Like I said, I've had the book. I'm not going to exaggerate. Probably, I'm going to say 10 years. And I finally picked this book up and said, I'm going to read this book. I'm going to read it because I already know that that's where my battles lie. And that's where it says that's where battles are fought and won. It's in our minds. Think about that. Let me read something to you. Because I'm telling you, ladies, gentlemen, I was reading this all we're in chapter 3. Chapter 3 title is Don't Give Up. But let me read some of the titles to you, then I'll read the titles of the first chapter. The mind is the battlefield. A vital necessity. Don't give up. Little by little. Be positive. Mind binding spirits. Think about what you're thinking about. Powerful. This is part 2. Conditions of the mind. When is my mind normal? A wandering mind. A confused mind. A doubtful and unbelieving mind. An anxious and worried mind. A judgmental, critical, and suspicious mind. A passive mind. The mind of Christ. Next part 3. Wilderness mentalities. My future is determined by my past and my present. That's a wilderness mentality. Someone do it for me. I don't want to take the responsibility. And I haven't got that far, by the way. So truthfully, and I'm gonna try and do this, and I'm gonna try and read this so that I can talk to you guys about it on Monday. Wow, this is if I can come on. Depends on my granddaughter's graduation. Okay. Please make everything easy. I can't take it if things are too hard. What's not too hard, ladies and gentlemen? That's everything. Okay. I can't take it. I'm just addicted I'm addicted to grumbling, fault finding, and complaining. Now, I'm not pointing fingers because I don't know who I'm talking to. But I'm going to tell you the truth. You guys know when you're pointing fingers at one person, 4 are pointing back at you. You know that, right? Yeah. Don't make me wait for anything. I deserve everything immediately. I'm laughing at the title. These are the titles of the chapters. My behavior may be wrong, but it's not my fault. My life is so miserable. I feel sorry for myself because my life is so wretched. I don't deserve God's blessings because I am not worthy. I'll never say that, by the way. Why shouldn't I be jealous and envious when everybody else is better off than I am? I'm going to do it my way or not at all. Those were the titles of the chapters. I'm only in chapter one. Let me tell you, I'm going to share with you what I read in chapter one. I'm saying these things because this is what I believe. If my spirit has led me to read this, I guarantee you there's somebody else that needs to read it too. That's why I'm sharing this with you. There's somebody else that feels the same way about something. There's literally impossible that somebody hasn't heard of or needs something in here. I think that's impossible. But anyway, this is what Ephesians said. Ephesians 6:12. This is in chapter 1. For we are not wrestling with flesh and blood, content only with physical opponents, contending with only physical opponents, but against the dispositions, against powers, against the master spirits that are the world rulers of this present darkness, against spiritual forces of wickedness in heavenly spheres. Now, she didn't say what if this is the NIV version. You know, there's so many versions of the Bible, by the way. So she didn't mention that. But it says in here, to tearing down strongholds. And somebody's texting me. For the weapons of our warfare are not physical or not carnal, meaning that the weapons that we fight against, they're spiritual. Everything I have just read to you has been, these are spiritual. Think about it. You cannot wrestle a thought physically. You can't do it because the thought it's a spirit. Your thoughts are spirits. My thoughts are spirits. So you can't wrestle with them physically. You can only wrestle with you're wrestling with them emotionally. But anyway, I digress. Here we go. For the weapons of warfare are not physical, weapons of flesh and blood, but they are mighty before God for the overthrow and destruction of strongholds. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, now you may say, and as I was reading this, it talks about this lady that has strongholds. And it just so happens her name is Mary. I thought that was interesting. And I'm reading it and I'm like, wow. And her stronghold is she's controlling. She tries to control her husband. She tries to control her kids. It's all about control. Now, and I'm only on, let me tell you where I am. Chapter 1, as I marked the page. I think I went into chapter 2. I just started reading this this morning. I brought it with us. And I just started reading this morning. But about situations, when it says the mind is a battlefield. This is the mind. It says the mind is a battlefield. Summary of the situation. Thus far, we have seen that number one, your mind is engaged in war. Think about that. Every day, not once in a while, every single day, there's a war going on here for you in your mind. Every single day. And this is what I have learned too, ladies. I'm giving you some my tidbits of wisdom. What I'm trying to do is when a thought comes that's a negative thought. Oh, I done put on so much weight. Oh, this, that. Oh, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to recognize, because this is what I have learned too. If you cannot recognize it, you cannot change it. So you have to be aware when these thoughts come to your mind. You have to be cognizant that you have that thought. Because if you can't first grab that thought, then you know what? It grows. It's almost like it gets legs and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It doesn't get smaller. It grows bigger. So you don't want the thought to get bigger. You don't want the thought to grow at all. But the point is, it can only grow if you let it. Now, that wasn't in the book, by the way. It can only grow when you, it's like, this is how it's like a plant. You know, if you've ever been in a garden and you plant a seed, think about how small that seed is first. Okay, but if you don't water it and you don't give it what it needs, nutrients, you don't give it sunlight, that plant won't grow. It's gonna die. Especially if you don't water it, it's definitely gonna die. But how do you water your thoughts? You keep them going. If you, the only way that seed of that thought is going to dry up and die is you, number one, have to know that it exists. The thought, which I just say, oh, and just say, I see, you see, I say, oh, every time I say it. And I say it because it's like, we don't realize that we're doing a lot of things to ourselves. There's nobody, there's no big monster in the sky doing stuff. We're doing it. We're saying that. We're tearing ourselves down. We're making ourselves feel bad and sometimes for no reason. Ladies, gentlemen, we only have so long on this planet. And the reality really hit me probably about 5 years ago when I thought I was having a heart attack. I wasn't, but I thought I was. And when I'm at the hospital and the guy comes in and he's bringing the machine and I can see my heartbeat. He goes, "You haven't seen your heartbeat?" I looked at that man. I said, "How would I have ever seen my heartbeat? I'm curious. Just tell me, how would that have ever happened?" And he started laughing. He goes, "Oh, that's true." I said, "Exactly. No, I never seen my heartbeat." And then he said something to me. He said, "You only have so many of them." Oh, I'm just sitting here thinking, that really is, I know it's true, but did I really need to hear that right now? So he said, and then after a while it stops. I said, well, thank you for that bit of information. But I know what he was saying. They don't get to be forever. We don't get to stay forever. So now I'm trying to work on positivity. Even when I'm talking to myself, not just about other people, positively regarding me. Just how can I start in this? And I realize too, it's got to start with me. I've got to first be positive with me before I can be positive about other people. And not that I've tried to be negative, but I'm human. I know it's hard to believe. So I'm saying that, ladies and gentlemen, where do you say things that may not be so nice to you? Nobody else said it. You're saying it to you. Remember, the mind up here, that's where that battle, that is a daily, if you want to be honest with you, that battle is going on 24/7. You have to bring positive energy into your being. I met a lady, she was 80, this was Friday, 87. And I sat there and I thought, wow, what do I want to say? And she's spry, by the way. Everybody knows the word spry means, right? Okay, she's running around just like she in her 20s. And she turned, we started talking. She said, "I'm gonna tell you why I'm able to do like I do." She did, I don't even know why, because I didn't ask. She goes, "Because I have a positive attitude. I believe, I believe in positivity." She goes, "I believe that." So I get up every morning and I tell myself I'm beautiful. I'm worthy. I mean, she was just, I said, I didn't even ask. That's what I couldn't get over it. And I thought, wow, that's what it takes. And she said, not only do I have a positive attitude about me, I have a positive attitude about everybody. Everybody. Think about the power of what this lady is saying. I sat there just in awe of her because all I kept thinking was, that's over 20 something years that she's lived longer than I have. I have, I think I got a call this week about a funeral. I think it was this week. And all I kept thinking was the person that passed away was 30 years younger than her. Not even 30 plus years younger than her. And she got 30 more years on the planet because of her attitude. Wow, that's deep. I want to have those 30 years. I don't know that I will, but I know that what she is saying, if you can keep yourself positive, you have to start there first. Then you can move on and keep other people or keep positive energy going toward other people, at least. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go on and read some more to you. And like I said, I'm going to read this. It's going to, I don't know how long it's going to take me to read it. I'm going to read it because I'm going to read it because next week I want to talk to you about what it said. But this, I'm just reading you excerpts because it says the summary of the situation. Thus far, we've seen that we are engaged in a war. Our enemy is Satan. For those of you who know, Satan is the devil. Number three, the mind is the battlefield. Number four, the devil works diligently to set up strongholds in our mind. Got that? Number five, he does it through strategy and deceit, through well laid plans and deliberate deception. Wow, this is deep. Number six, he is in no hurry. He takes his time to work out his plan. And I think we think the devil is this, uh, with the horns and all that kind of. That's not the devil. That's what we've made to believe is the devil. But the devil is a spirit. You can't just reach us up. There's the devil. That's not how. That's not. But if you watch TV, they'll make you think that. That's not how it works. That just as God is a spirit, the devil is a spirit. A spirit. And I say that because sometimes you can recognize that spirit, that you can recognize good and evil. You can. I know people think, oh no, I do know. You can recognize it. You can recognize it in people. You may even recognize it in yourself. Good and evil. It's real. It's in us. Don't think it isn't. It's not out here in the universe and not affecting you. That's why the battlefield is here. How many times could you have said something nice and didn't? I cannot tell you. I've been at so many different functions until I can't even keep up with them. But I do this when I go to a function. I don't know if I should tell you guys my secret or not, but I should tell you. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because maybe you can do the same thing. I try to make sure I say to a woman who is not escorted. Everybody knows what that means. She's there, and there's not a man with her at that function. And I make a point to tell her that she looks nice. I do. And I do it intentionally because you can get all dressed up and ready to go. It doesn't matter that I said it as a woman to her. I'm like, that's a beautiful outfit you have. And they always say, thank you. They're so grateful someone noticed that they took the time to get themselves together, get their nails done, get their hair done, get the makeup, everything. And men, it takes us a while to get dressed to go somewhere. But sometimes it takes men longer. But the point is, they took the time to do it. And they knew they did not have an escort when they went. And sometimes women, when they go without an escort, they don't want to go. I've been that person. That's probably why that's probably has a lot to do with it now that I'm talking to you. I've been that person. I was widowed at 35. Some of you already know that. I remarried at about 49, almost 50. Yeah. So Oliver and I have been married over 50 years. But I would tell you, there was a time, there was no Oliver there. And I would go to functions. Many times people didn't even speak to you. Because if they're a couple, the woman doesn't want you, she thinks you're trying to get with her husband or something like that, or boyfriend, whoever it is. And that's the last thing you want to do, by the way. So it's not even That's not even your interest. You just want to go and enjoy the function like everybody else. But if you're not escorted to that function, it can be your brother, it can be your boyfriend, it can be whoever it is, but a man is escorting you. Now, when you go with another female, I don't know if that's called escorting or not. Just you just with a friend. Maybe that's what it is. But the point is, there's not a male escort with you. I make a point of saying, that's a beautiful outfit you have, and I'm not lying, by the way. I don't just say that. I'm saying it because it is, but I'm also aware that probably no one has said that to her because that was me. That was me. I would be there at functions. No, most times people didn't say anything to you. They don't say anything. They see you and they look the other direction. You're lucky if they say something, but not to have conversations. No. Mm-mm. No. So I'm saying that to you. Give that to a female. Men is different. I think I'm trying to think. When I see single men, that which is rare, by the way, that's rare anyway. I'm trying to think when the last time I seen a single man. I don't see single men to men. Mm-mm. No, I see women, but not men. Men tend to have, I don't know, a friend there with them or something like that, but not. They don't. I just don't see men sitting alone. Let me say that. I'm trying to think. The one I just went to, there were three men there, but they were sitting together, and all three of them were married. So they were just kind of like together. But was there a man just sitting at a table alone? No. If there was, I didn't see it. Not that I can recall. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I just couldn't recall it. So I'm saying this to say these are things we don't think about. And as I'm talking, oh, you said please put what in the chat, Elaine? Please put that in the. Please put the title. Okay, thank you. Battlefield. I'll put it in there. Battlefield of the Mind. I'm going to be reading it. And it's by Joyce Myers. It's a number one. It's on the New York Times bestseller list. It's very well known. I just haven't read. Like I said, I only read one chapter. I said no, you need to read this book because there's so many things I'm involved in, and I'll be the first. I'm gonna tell you guys. As they say, I'm sharing with you guys the. There we go. The Battlefield of the Mind. Um, Yep, that's it. Winning the battle in your mind. That's what she says. Winning the. That's where, if you really think about, that's where the battle is fought. How many times, ladies and gentlemen, have you wanted to do something and you talked your own self out of it? It doesn't matter. Let's say you want to take a class, and you say, I don't have the time. I really just you have before you didn't even know what time the class started. You didn't even know where to go take the class. I'm laughing because I know this is true. You don't know one thing and you've already talked yourself out the class. I know when I was working on my master's, I thought I was going to die. I thought death looked better because it was so hard. But I made it. But I remember one of my professors, he wanted me to go on and get a doctorate. This is my stories, one of my stories. And I said, I can't do that. And he said, why? I said, because the only degree I'm going to get is an MRS degree. And he looked at me, he said, what degree is that? I said, I'm going to be Mrs. Somebody. That's what it is. That's the only degree I'm going to get. The man fell out laughing. He said, I cannot believe you said that. The way you said that, like that was a real degree. That's what because he looked at me and goes, what is an MRS degree? But let me just say this. I could have gone on and received a doctorate. I could have. But guess where I lost that battle? Right here. I made a decision. I couldn't do it. he was telling me, you can do it. I decided no, I don't want to do it. That's really what happened, truthfully. I decided no. It wasn't that it was that, hard. I'm not saying it was. I'm sure it is hard, but it's not impossible. I know so many people with doctorate degrees. I could give me a break. So it's not that I couldn't have done it. The battlefield was right here. I decided in that split second that my goal was to be married more than it was to have a doctorate degree. But I could have went on and got a doctorate degree. There was nothing stopping me but me. And I'm saying that because there's nothing stopping you but you. Think about how big that is. There is nothing. Think about this world that we're living in. People ask me, how did you start this show? How do you write your books? How do you do? Remember, if you're on the email list, you're going to get an email about coming to a free. Think about I'm giving away the farm on June the 3rd. I think that's today. Hold on. Let me double check. Well, you'll get the flyer. I think I'm sending out today or tomorrow. I'm gonna tell you why that's important. I'm gonna tell you guys stuff I never I don't talk about. So it's really it's uh-oh. What day is it? I'm looking. It says the 7th. 14, 20. I'm wrong. It's the 7th of June. I keep saying the 3rd of June. The 3rd is a Tuesday. I could do it on Tuesday, but it's at 12 o'clock. I'd better do it on the 7th. That's what I'm looking at right now. Because the flyer doesn't go out until tonight. So I'll send it tonight. And it says, you sign up, it's all free. All free, don't cost you nothing. But you sign up and you'll get an email that says that you come on the 7th. That's it. Now, let me say this. I have never done this before. Oh my goodness. Part of me is like, oh, don't do it. Don't. And then another part of me is, no, you got to do it. Now, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Let's see what Elaine says. Elaine says, I have to stay in a positive place in my mind so that I can continue to believe with others. I grew up seeing the good or positive side in whatever situation. That's how my mother viewed life. That's big, Elaine. You saw your mother sound like my mother. They did, but then my mother was real realistic too. I mean, she was very positive. Let me think. But she was a realist, if that makes sense. And she was very positive. But I want to give people, and when I email goes out, I want to make sure you guys have an opportunity. Because I hear this all the time. I have an idea for a book. I want to write a book. I literally, ladies and gentlemen, this is a daily mantra I hear. Now, you have no excuse. As they say, I'm giving y'all the farm on, it looks like June the 7th. I thought it was the 3rd, but it's the 7th. Because if I do it on the 3rd, I don't want to do it let me just do it on that Saturday. I'll do it. It's just going to be at 12 noon. It starts at 12 o'clock. And you're welcome to come. All of you, whoever, if you're on the email list, you'll get invited anyway. Don't worry about that. You are invited. Totally free. Doesn't cost a thing. Now, I don't publish for you. I teach you how to write this book. I'm going to take you through the steps. I just wrote a book. What was the other day? This was for Oliver. It's Oliver the Ostrich. I wrote his book. So Oliver, and there was another book. What's the title of it that came to me? I'll tell you guys. I'm sharing all the, as they say, the goodies, the good stuff. Let me tell you. This is another book I wrote. It's my notes. Here we go. Let me see what's in here. My notes. Yeah, because this is so interesting. I used to wonder why people said would go to different places and write. Now I understand. I have almost yet to go anywhere and not write. It's because that being in that different environment is real. Let me tell you now, it is very real. I didn't know it was, but I do know. I do now. It's real. I'm trying to think which one was it. It was the tortoise story. Here it is, right here. You guys see all my ideas they're right here on my phone. So That's how I could look it up. The tortoise story. I can't decide if that's gonna. The tortoise story is gonna be about what is. I haven't decided. I see. I write the title and then I come back and write the story. So now, let me tell you this. As you know, some of the boys have written stories. Justin has a book called My Cat is a Spy. He wrote the book and then he wrote his title. And I thought about that. And then Peyton has a book. Those two. Bradley, I'm still getting Bradley to write a book. But those two have their books, and I told well, I didn't tell him. I said, "Do you?" I asked him, "Do you write your title before you write your book or after?" He said after, and I thought that was so interesting that he writes his title after he's written the book. I write my title before I write the book. Um, but anyway, whatever you want to do, if you ever thought, and I say thought, I'm not saying you had to do it, but you had a thought in your mind about writing a book, you need to come on that Saturday. And I'm telling you why. I can take you from that thought to a book. But it looks like it's so hard, does I think it does to a lot of people. That's why they don't do it. Because they think it's this big, gigantic, and it isn't. It's like it's take a baby step, take a baby step, take a baby step. And then you have a book. You have a book. So I just want you to know that we're down to, can you believe I've been talking almost an hour? 4 minutes. 4 minutos. And then we're over the Mary D. The Mary D show is over. But I wanted to share again or share with you too. It was about that. What else was it? Like I said, I'm not sure if we're going to be back Monday because I don't know what time our daughter's graduation is. So if we're not here, if I'm not here Monday, that's because it was at the same time as her graduation, which she didn't tell me what time that is yet. So I can't tell you. But don't forget, on June 7th, you'll be able to sign up. And I think I'm going to run it through, since it's through Eventbrite, I'll just do it like that. So I just set it up and you sign up through Eventbrite. That might be the easiest way. I don't know. Or you'll just hit a Google Docs and you fill that out. But the reason I like Eventbrite, because it'll remind you. You get a reminder every time you come on an event, or it'll tell you it's a week away, it's 3 days away, it starts in an hour. It does those reminders for you, which is really nice. And I like that. So it's kind of, we may do it like that. Okay. I'm going to tell you, I know I've been all over the place today. I was sharing all kinds of stuff with you guys, but it's been on my mind and on my heart, and I just really wanted to share that with you. If you have any questions for me, I want to first thank you to our super fans, Elaine Wilson. Thank you, Elaine. It's always good to see you, Elaine. Elaine, you still got to come on the show. And Antonio, thank you both for coming on today. I did not get a chance to send a text out because we were traveling. I really I love when I can send text messages out, but I couldn't get those out. So I'm sorry, you guys. So they'll be out when the next speaker comes. It's when I will send the text messages out. I don't want to do it before that. I think it's better if I wait, and that way you'll get the email, you get the e blast, and you get the text at the same time. But today I knew it was just going to be me and you, and it'll be. And now, if the graduation it works out, and I can come on next week, my goal is to do this. Is to have this. I'm gonna be reading this right now. But even though to be honest with you, this is the kind of book, in my opinion, you cannot rush through. I need to take my time and absorb this book, not just read the book. Many of you understand that because there's so much in it. 4 million copies sold, and you know. And this book was 14 $14. You do the math, and that's how many copies there so far, and it's still going strong. The battlefield of the mind. I love it. So thank you again for coming on the Mary D show. We'll be back hopefully next Monday. If not, for sure the Monday after that. Okay, so like I said, if this is going to conflict with her graduation, and I may come on and do a quick blurb and tell you guys, oh, it's her graduation, I won't be on. But oh, Oliver said Hi, repetitive audience. Thank you for joining the show today. Happy Mother's Day to all. Yes, happy Mother's Day, moms. We love you. And thank you for reminding us about that. So, God bless each and every one of you. I thank you for being here today. Thank you, live viewers, and thank you, replay viewers. I love you. Bye, everybody.